The food industry has greatly improved over the years, and we have the technology to thank for it. With the advancement of technology, mass production of food is made easier. Food items that could take hours or even days to produce are being produced within the shortest time with little to no manual effort. From your perfectly sliced cheese to your generously stuffed jam donuts, here are some food industry machines that are on another level. The Salmon Machine. Salmon is a very common fish that is readily available. In the food industry, there are various production lines equipped with different sophisticated machines just for salmon. These machines are different in function and are used in various stages. This process also makes use of manual labor. The fish is first placed on the conveyor belts. At this point, the insides of the fish are already cleaned out. The conveyor belt is the most versatile of all machines as it runs different machines carrying the salmon from one stage to another. The fish is wheeled through a cutter which separates the head from the body and slices the fish into two. In the next step, the back, tail, and thin stomach are removed manually by the workers. The much more difficult task of removing thin bones from the fillet is left to a machine. This machine removes all thin bones without crushing or distorting the shape of the fish. At this stage, the fish can be packaged and sent to stores. Sometimes, the fish are sent to another machine that cuts the fish into different sizes. This machine has a smart system that allows you to customize the sizes you want. Interestingly, this cutter is a powerful water jet that cuts thin lines across the fish. It's called a flexicus. More than 20 fish are processed in less than a minute. The pineapple juicer. Don't you just love how easy it is to open a carton of pineapple juice without enjoying its refreshing taste? Well, it's all thanks to this machine. The process of juicing pineapples is a conglomeration of different machines. After manual inspection and quality control are carried out, the conveyor belt carries the pineapples through a machine that washes them thoroughly with clean water. Afterwards, the clean pineapples are sent through a machine for crushing. The juice from the pineapple goes into a big bowl, while the chaff goes to waste. All other ingredients and preservatives are added, and after proper sterilization, the pineapple is packaged and sealed. The candy machine. Ever been to a candy bar? Well, if you have a sweet tooth, then this might interest you. The process of making candies is very tedious, and you need a lot of arm strength to whip the perfect candy. With the help of a machine, that's not necessary anymore. The candy machine has two levers that spin in opposite directions. The candy dough is placed on this machine, and it spins the candy to its ideal consistency needed to mold the candy. The candy is then passed through another machine that pulls the candy dough into long strips and cuts it to desired shape and size. The crab cutter. As the name implies, you already know that this is not for vegans. This crab cutting machine will blow your mind. The body of a crab is not fully edible as the delicious parts are claws, legs, and the parts where the legs are attached to the body. But as delicious as they are, we all know how exhausting it can be removing crab shells. For big food production companies, however, the case is different. Because of the need to separate the flesh from the shell, machines need to be used. There are different types of machines that can be used in the process of separating crab shells from the flesh, but we'll be talking about just two. This particular machine handles the entire process of shell removal. Firstly, the machine finds the crab and determines its size and proportions of the crab. This process is crucial because it will determine how the other stages of production will unfold. After getting the proportions, the system sends the information to the robotic arm of the machine. Here, a regular saw powered by a machine is used to separate the legs of the crab from its body. This process can either be done individually or in sections. The next stage involves extraction. The machine carefully extracts the meat from the legs. The meat is then packaged and sent to stores for sale. The second type of machine is a more compact one. It requires a bit of manual labor, but it is just as efficient as the previous one. Here, the crabs are manually placed into the machine one after the other. The legs are held by special support that sends the crab into a machine to remove its shell. Afterwards, the crab is washed and packaged for sale. About 45 crabs can be cut in just 1 minute. This level of productivity may never be achieved if done manually. The Tuna Machine. It is no doubt that the production of canned products requires the use of efficient machines. Canned tuna is no exception. This is one of the food production processes that also require a bit of manual labor. But as usual, the easier and simpler work is done manually. The fish arrives at the factory in a frozen state, after which workers inspect the fish. Next, the fish are sorted according to their sizes. A worker then feeds the fish through a machine that separates the head and the tail from the fish. The fish is moved on a conveyor belt to another section, where a machine further cuts down the body of the fish into smaller sizes. Then the real work begins. This next step is called heat treatment, and it is done with the aid of an industrial cooker. The fish are placed inside the cooker in batches and cooked for about an hour. This cooker generates a temperature of up to 100 degrees Celsius. The cooked fish is cut by hand once it's cooled. Afterwards, the fish is fed through a machine that puts the fish in cans and seals them off. This machine can fill over 110 cans per minute. The efficiency of these machines put together allows for great profitability. Cake decor machine. Although there are small and medium-scale businesses in the cake and confectionery industry, big industries also have a place here. For a big company that has thousands of cake orders in a day, the best option is to use highly efficient machines to save time and energy. Various machines help dress the cake, covering it with icing and other fondants. Other machines are digitized. You can input the kind of design you want on your cake into the machine, which transfers the said design onto your cake. There is no going wrong with this method of design, as all movements are highly calculated. Your design will come out looking perfect. Outside the cake making business, there are other machines used in making all kinds of pastries. For instance, these perfectly glazed donuts with jam fillings may have been done with the help of a machine. The process is pretty simple, and it requires some manual help too. The dough is mixed and kneaded with the help of a donut making machine, after which the dough is cut into smaller sizes and shapes. The conveyor belt takes the donut to where it will be fried, and after it's been fried to satisfaction, workers take it out and arrange it on trays. Next is the process of filling and glazing the donut. The ones that require glazing are put on a tray and then turned into a big bowl of the preferred glazing. A net-like structure is placed above the donuts to prevent them from turning into a bowl of glaze. For the ones that need jam, they are sent to a machine that generously stuffs the donut with the jam of choice. This machine is quite fast and precise. Another cool machine used in making pastries is this 180-degree rotating tray. Although its function is simple, it makes for quick and proficient production. This tray flips the pancakes over to ensure that they are cooked on both sides. It makes the perfect flip while retaining the circular shape of the pancake. We all know that it takes skills to flip over a pancake. The cheese slicer. If you've ever wondered how the thin slice of cheese is achieved, then this is for you. There are different machines used in the cutting of cheeses. The industrial production of cheese alone involves several steps. But this is what happens once the cheese is ready. The round cheese head is first sliced in half. Then the machine puts the halves under a rapidly rotating blade. The rotating blade of a Texter TS500 gets the job of slicing the cheeses further into perfectly measured slices of 115 millimeters wide and 190 millimeters high. Another cheese cutting machine does its job in a completely different way. Since we all know that cheese is not always sliced, this machine cuts cheeses in another popular shape, wedges. Two different machines can achieve that. The first machine requires removing the centerpiece or the core of the cheese head. The resulting piece is then cut in half, after which a blade divides the cheese into different sizes. This machine also makes the use of robotic arms which pick up the pieces of cheese and place them in trays for further packaging. The second machine doesn't require removing the centerpiece. First, the cheese is fixed into the cheese holder. Afterwards, a blade cuts the cheese head while a special mechanism rotates the cheese head. This allows for equal division. The interesting thing about this machine is that the holders are adjustable. So you can cut any cheese head size on this machine and you will always get perfect and equal wedges. However, the cheese head shouldn't exceed 45 centimeters in diameter, as that would be bigger than what the cheese holder can take. This particular cheese cutting machine can cut up to 120 cheese heads within an hour. And with that, we have come to the end of today's video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.